Hey everybody, welcome to today's live stream. Today we're going to recap day number one, which went down yesterday. So day number one's training, I felt like from a delivery or from a presenter perspective, it went pretty well. And it was really interesting reading a lot of the breakthroughs yesterday and kind of seeing what everyone resonated with. It seems like a lot of people resonated with the list method. A lot of people seem to love this idea that you can add value in other ways than just giving information. And by removing something that's keeping someone stuck is another way to add value. Shifting someone's perspective, getting someone to see something different is another way to add value. The breakthroughs have been amazing. So before we get into the details of today, today's live stream, what I want to do is remind you that if you give your biggest breakthrough and share it inside the group as its own post and use the hashtag messaging breakthrough, so hashtag messaging breakthrough, and you share your breakthrough, my team is going to be going through and picking someone's breakthrough to be the winner. And the winner will get a one-on-one messaging session with me. So we're going to go through and we're going to pick the number one breakthrough, the one we thought was the most powerful, and you're going to be able to come on live with me, and we're going to go through all of your messaging. We're going to put all your messaging in one nice little package and get you to a place where you can easily communicate what it is you do. You can understand thought reversals and which ones you should be using and all of that good stuff. So make sure you do that. Now, for those of you who are here live with us, if you have any questions or any clarifications that you need, even if you're watching the replay, you can go ahead and leave a comment underneath this live stream and just let us know if you have any questions. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to recap kind of what we went over yesterday. So for those of you who have not seen day number one, the replay is above. But for those of you who have, there were 6 elements that we covered. Now, what we're going to do on Friday, June 11th, Friday at noon, Pacific Standard Time, is we're going to take all of those elements, and what we're going to do is we're going to show you where you're going to plug those elements in a funnel. We're going to show you the phases of the funnels or phases of a funnel and where you should be plugging in these messaging elements. Now, I want to be very clear, very upfront about one thing. What we're going to be covering on Friday is not going to be strategy. This is not funnel strategy workshop. This is messaging in a funnel workshop. So the beautiful part about what we're going to cover on Friday is it doesn't matter what strategy you use, whether you're evergreen, launching, whatever, challenges, webinars, video series, it doesn't matter. Because once you understand the phases, once you understand the messaging, you can plug that messaging into anything really. You can plug that messaging into any webinar, any video series, any challenge, things like that. So let's talk about these elements. Now, I'm going to give you a homework assignment as well so that you can get the most out of Friday. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, the 6 things that we covered, the 6 elements that you need in order to uncover or create the most powerful messaging in a funnel is number 1, you want to know your industry norms. Now, what I mean by this is that there are ways to add value other than giving things away for free. We talked about thought reversals. We talked about shifting people's perspective. If you can identify something that your industry or your niche perceives to be true or they think is true, that's what reality is for them, and you look at that and go, well, that's actually what's causing the problem for them, you will never run out of ways to be able to make money or sales or generate revenue. For example, for us, one of the biggest industry norms out there inside of the online marketing space is that you have to add value, give everything away for free, give out your best stuff, and then you can make a pitch for a program. And the best type of content in order to build an audience is how-to and educational. And I go against that and I say, well, how-to educational, if you do only and strictly how-to educational, or 70% of your content is strictly how-to educational tutorial-based content, you actually blend in with all the other experts. Even though you might be different, the audience doesn't perceive you as different. If I was a weight loss coach and I had a unique system, but I had a video out there that was called How to Lose 10 Pounds, and 1,000 other experts all had a video titled How to Lose 10 Pounds, the audience cannot separate me from anyone else. They're just like, okay, great. Another weight loss coach who is teaching someone how to lose 10 pounds. They don't perceive you as different. They perceive you as the same, and that becomes a problem. So for us, that's an industry norm. But the beautiful part about this is most people teach that as the way to get X, Y, and Z, to build an audience, to build a business. We go against that grain, which allows us to stand out, allows us to be a little bit polarizing, but allows us to shift people's perspective and end a belief that is causing them suffering. And you can do the same thing. Now, your homework assignment for Friday is to identify one industry norm that you can start putting into practice after Friday, because that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to wait around. I don't want you to wait around and have to like go through more trainings and whatever to get this going. Part of messaging is taking action quickly and consistently so that you're continually getting data, evolving the messaging, growing the messaging, seeing what's working, what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good to you, etc. So that's your homework for Friday. Now, the second thing we talked about was using data from your messaging ecosystem. A lot of what people do with funnels is they guess at every single phase. They guess at what webinar title to use. They guess at what's going to work inside their ads. They're guessing at like how to frame their products. They're guessing at what the title things. They're just guessing, hoping that whatever they come up with will resonate with their audience. And I actually want to do the opposite. I want you to put out content, and your content should be that testing and guessing phase. Your content should be really what you want to talk about, not what your audience tells you they want, but what you want to talk about. And then based off of what you want to talk about, which part of that resonates the best with your audience? Well, whatever resonates the best with your audience should be the theme you carry through. For example, if I put out a video and said, how-to content's not the best way to grow an audience, and I explain it in a way where people go like, wow, I thought Reversal. And then I run an ad to them a couple days later. It says how to grow an audience without how-to content. I'm not guessing at anything. I know that that title and that topic and that theme will resonate with my audience because they showed me through high watch times, through comments, through reactions, through shares that they love that content. So I'm just going to give them more of it in the form of a webinar, video series, challenge, whatever. We're using data to tell us what part of my messaging ecosystem do people resonate with the most, and I just give them more of it. Very simple. So the next thing, number 3, you need to build demand for each phase. And what I mean by this is when we look at how movies are released or local businesses are open, the successful ones, they build anticipation, they build wait lists, they have a date, they ingrain that date into your head so you know and you look forward to when it's coming out. They also give previews, they run content, and we like to do the same thing. This workshop's a perfect example. June 8th was the day that this was going live, and we ingrained in people's heads, we showed previews, we got people hooked, and we made it into a big event. So people actually showed up. We had almost 300 people show up live with us. And you can do the same thing inside of your trainings. You can do that for the releases of your programs, the releases of your trainings. Instead of just running an ad straight to a webinar saying, here's the webinar, go watch it. You can build anticipation for things and build events around them, and you get more people showing up. So build demand for each phase. Now, one way to build demand is to use the list method. I'm not going to get into what the list method is because it's in the replay. And again, the replay is above, so you can go watch that. But the list method is a way that inside your Facebook groups or inside your communities, you can actually build anticipation. The list method is a way of communicating and where you can build demand and anticipation for something and then end with a date. So the list method basically helps you get your audience to self-identify that they have a problem and that you are the person that has the solution without them thinking about it. They will automatically feel, I have a problem, I've self-identified I have a problem, and this person is the one to help me with it. Then when you combine that with a date and how to fix it, we start to build really high demand and anticipation for your events. Okay. Number 4, create a unique solution. This is going to help with your offer. So when you go to create a funnel in your messaging, it should be creating demand for your offer. We don't wait to the very end to pitch and sell. We sell all the way through. An easy way to do that is to come up with your own unique solution. So when I talk about the Video 4X effect methodology, I'm talking about the methodology. I create demand for the methodology. People know what it is, what it stands for, what it's going to help them with, why it's different. They know I'm the only one with it. But guess what? Anytime I talk about the Video 4X methodology, what I'm really doing is talking about the Video 4X program, because the program is the only way to access the methodology. So when I create demand for the methodology, by default, what I'm really doing is creating demand for my offer. So when we have a unique solution, it's a way for us to be able to talk about our offer inside of our content and create demand for our offer before anyone knows anything is for sale. The next one is using avatar identities. So we talked about this yesterday, but what I like to do is inside of our funnels, we start to drop different identities in there, and two of them, struggling avatar and future-paced hero. When I'm training or doing a training or having a funnel, I will talk about, here's the specific mistakes you're making. Here's the consequences you're going to face because of it. If that's you, you are this. And I have a name for those people. Like, for example, if you have a disjointed funnel, I call you the disjointed funneler. What starts to happen is as I start to say, here's the specific things you're doing if you're a disjointed funneler, and here's the things you're feeling, and here's the consequences you're experiencing. And I say, if you're doing any of that, you're a disjointed funneler. What happens is the human mind, your audience, will automatically associate themselves with that identity. Oh my gosh, I'm the disjointed funneler. That is me. So when we create messaging inside of our funnel, we also have the opposite identity. The digital CEO. The digital CEO is the one who they have cohesive funnels. They don't have a disjointed funnel. They're the ones who make more and work less. And I just start painting the picture. And what starts to happen is people self-identify as, I'm the struggling avatar, the disjointed funneler, and I want to be the digital CEO. They also know I have a unique solution. They know the unique solution is what bridges the gap. So when we start to combine all these elements together, they work together. We have industry norms. We're using data. We're helping, bring two identities in to create a demand gap. The unique solutions is the thing that bridges the gap. They know, like, and trust us because we're shifting perspective. We're reversing things that are causing suffering in their life. And when all these elements are working inside of a funnel, you have one cohesive message that gets people to want and feel like they need to work with you and that you are the one with the solution. And the last piece here, I see some comments coming in, so I'll look at those in a second. But the last piece here are using funnels that set up the offer. So funnels that set up the offer are usually funnels that are based off of one theme. I always tell people, do not give everyone everything or promise to give them everything in a webinar. If your program is A to Z, don't give them A to Z inside of a webinar. Don't even try that. Give them one theme. If you're running your content and you start to realize there's one topic that they seem to love, that topic may only be 5, 10, 15% of your overall course. Just give them more of that same one topic in a funnel. When you do that, what happens is you get them sold on getting that one problem fixed. And then when you position your offer, your program to fix that one thing for them, but then you start creating all these other problems. Yeah, but what about this and this and this and this and this? Well, here's our offer that's going to help you not only fix this one thing that we've been talking about for the last week, but we're also going to help you with all of these. So you start to create a no-brainer offer because they were already sold on this, fixing this one thing. And then you just went, plus you have all this other stuff. You get all these other modules and trainings and solutions to problems that you don't even know you're going to have yet. So those are the 6 things. Know your industry norms, use data from your messaging ecosystem, build demand for each phase, create a unique solution, use your avatar identity, and you have funnels that set up your offer. Those are the 6 elements that you have to have figured out. And then on Friday, we're going to show you where we're going to be plugging all of these things in inside the funnel. Again, I'm not giving you funnel strategies, but I'm showing you how to incorporate messaging into any funnel. And we're talking about that on Friday, June 11th. Pacific Standard Time, noon Pacific Standard Time. Okay. The homework assignment you need is I would love to see you come to Friday with at least one industry norm figured out. Again, this isn't like a pet peeve of yours. This isn't an opinion of yours. This is something that literally, what did 70% of your audience, your industry, what do they think is true the right way that they haven't questioned at all that you know is actually causing the problem? If you can figure that out, that's going to be extremely powerful. You have your best content from that theme. You probably have your best funnels from that theme. And I want to talk with you guys on Friday about that. So let's look at some of the comments. Okay, so Lindy's asking, so do we drop the identities at the top of funnel or is that further down the funnel? And the answer is both. When you talk about identities, you're doing it all the way through the whole funnel, from your content to your sales page. And I'm going to show you guys my content. I'm going to show you my sales page, but it's both. When I'm in content, I talk about the unheard entrepreneur, the new generation entrepreneur. Anytime I mention a mistake, a problem, a consequence, I'm always attaching that to an identity. Inside of the training that we're doing now, anytime I list a mistake, I'm calling it a disjointed funnel or calling you a disjointed funneler. And then on the opposite side, it's digital CEO. The person has all three of these combined and figured out. So Jenny nailed it. By the way, Jenny, my team has been trying to get a hold of you. So send me a DM after this if you haven't seen their emails. So yeah, let's just recap real quick and then we'll wrap it up if we don't have any questions. Basically, we have 6 elements that we talked about on day 1, which is know your industry norms, use data from your messaging ecosystem, build demand for each phase, create a unique solution, use avatar identities, and have funnels that set up the offer. Your homework for Friday is to figure out at least one industry norm. And a reminder, if you haven't seen the replay, it is above. And in there, you'll see a slide that talks about winning a one-on-one messaging system, session with me. And all you need to do is share your biggest breakthrough from day 1 inside the Facebook group as a post. Use the hashtag messaging breakthrough, and my team is going to pick the one that they thought was the most profound and powerful. And that person will get a completely free one-on-one messaging session with me live in here in this group. And we're going to go through all of your messaging. So that is it for now. If you guys have any questions, oh, there's one more question. So you mentioned industry norm. What if it is just that things become outdated, older, overworn? Yeah, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're, I mean, if something is, people believe it to be true and it's not effective anymore and it's causing problems, that means it's outdated. It means it's old. It means it's overworn. So that's the whole point, is that people should literally think that it's true or the best way or the right way, but it is either not effective or causing a problem. And it is causing you, if it's not effective, it is causing a problem. So those are the 2 rules. Must be something that people, most of the industry, 70% of the industry thinks is true, the right way, the only way, then they've never questioned it. And because of that belief, it's causing a problem for them. That's it. So yes, if it's outdated, old, overworn, yeah, that'll work. Okay. So with that said, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. If you have any questions, let us know. And we'll see you all on Friday, June 11th at noon Pacific Standard Time. Take care.